Good morning, guys. Welcome to reading class. Let's work with A Visit with Grandpa. Copy the title of this story, please. A Visit with Grandpa. Look at the front page of the story. Look at this. A Visit with Grandpa. What can you see on that picture? What can you see? Disorder. Okay, a mess. A mess, exactly. There is a mess. What else can you see?
A grandpa.
A grandpa. Here, right? You can see grandpa. Yeah, that's correct. Now, tell me, what do you think this story will be about?
That one boy, this girl, visits a grandpa and is a disaster.
Ah, a disaster, right?
Copy that, miss.
The nieto of the grandpa go to her house and live here, and he have a disaster. He had a disaster, and he make a mess.
Disordered, right? He has a mess. But you say the nieto. That's what you say. Grandchild. Grandchild. He is the grandfather. So grandfather, grandchild. No, not this. What else? Where do you expect this story takes place? What is the setting?
House grandpa.
Friar, I think that like that.
What is the setting?
And
What do you
Like
think is the
a
setting?
jungle, a place like a jungle, but with no trees.
You think it's like a jungle? The setting of this story?
the house.
Look.
The
Person in the house.
Oh,
in
the
the
house.
In a house, but then they moved to a place that is like a jungle without trees.
It is like a jungle, you said. Okay, so let's read. Let's read the story. You can find the story on page 24 in your book. You can find the story on page 24 in your book. We are going to read 24, 25, and 26. Okay? 24, 25, and 26. Those are the pages we're going to read. We're going to read 24, 25, and 26. Okay, let me start reading this part and pay close attention because then you're gonna copy and answer 3 questions. Let me start reading this part. Justin has been having a hard time at home. Who had a hard time, class? Justin, exactly. Justin has been having a hard time at home. He complains to his friend Anthony that his mother and sisters are always after him to make his bed, clean his room, or do dishes, all of which he considers women's work. Ladies, do you agree with that? Do you agree that make beds, clean the room, or wash dishes is just women's work? Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that? Class? Ladies, this question is for ladies. Do you agree that make the beds, clean the room, and wash the dishes is only women's work? What do you think? What do you think, boys? Do you think make the bed, clean the room, or wash dishes is just women's work? Boys? Yes. I want to listen to your opinion.
Yes.
You think that is only for women's work? So it means that boys don't have to do anything of these works? Huh? Yes or no? Yes. Adriana,
Yes.
tell me.
No.
No, right?
No. The
No.
boys need to help too. The boys
Yeah,
need to help.
exactly. Boys needs to help. Boys can wash dishes. Boys can clean the room. Not only women. Not only women. So here, Justin says that he has been having a hard time at home. Why? Oh, because his mother and sister are always after him because they are remembering him. Do your bed, clean your room, wash these dishes. And he thinks that that is only for women. And he was not correct, of course. So in frustration, Justin starts crying while Grandpa is visiting. So Grandpa invites him to come back with him to the ranch, to his ranch, okay? Grandpa invited Justin to go to the ranch with him in Missouri for a week. The ranch is located in Missouri. He invited Justin to stay with him for 1 week. They'll be able to attend the Western Festival and see parades, games, and rodeos. Justin and Grandpa have just arrived at Grandpa's house, where he lives alone. Grandpa lives alone, and does all of his own housework. So nobody helps Grandpa. Grandpa cleans, Grandpa makes bed, Grandpa washes the dishes, Grandpa cooks. No one helps Grandpa. Grandpa shows Justin how a man makes a bed and then tucks him for the night. Grandpa was teaching Justin how to do housework. Because of course, housework is not only for women. Now, let me check. Ivana, start chewing gum, please. And read this. You can't be chewing gum, sweetie. Read the underline part, please. Go ahead.
Okay. The smell of coffee and home smoke woke Justin. His grandpa was already up and
Downstairs.
downstairs cooking breakfast. Justin jumped out of bed and quickly put on his clothes.
See, Justin jumped up of bed and quickly put on his clothes. Why? Because he smelled delicious breakfast. Thank you. Now, Adriana, read, please.
Grandpa had hot pancakes, apple
jelly,
and ham all ready. For that table, Justin ate 2 stalks for pancakes
of pancakes,
with 2 helpings for everything
else. You can see it well. Let me try to make it bigger.
Yes, I see it well.
Okay, there. Next. Santiago, read the last paragraph, please.
Okay. After breakfast, Grandpa cleared the table, prepared to wash the dishes. Would you rather wash or dry? He asked Justin.
Because Grandpa is gonna wash the dishes. So Grandpa asked Justin, would you rather, okay? Santiago, would you rather wash or dry? ¿Quieres he asked for two options. Do you want to wash or dry the dishes? Ask Justin, okay? He asked Justin. So imagine the face of Justin. Probably he was surprised because he says, me, wash dishes or dry dishes. So let's see what happened. What happened later? Jose Enrique, read please. Read the underline information, the underline sentences. Let me change the color. Here. Read please.
Later,
Neither.
Justin,
Sorry, because I am interrupting you.
neither
Justin said,
Justin,
oh, sorry. I just want to explain you this one. Says neither. Because it's one, like when your mother asks you, do you want a liver, hígado? Do you want liver or what else? Para comer, liver or spaghetti, and you say neither because you don't want liver nor spaghetti. You don't want both of them. So Justin answered neither. He didn't want to wash. He didn't want to dry. Continue. Go ahead.
Justin replied quickly, then now later says he had with dishes. Grandpa said nothing as he removed the dishes from the table. He took his time carefully measuring liquid soap and
Letting
letting hot water run in the
sink.
sink.
So, see, Justin didn't want to do nothing, didn't want to do anything. Neither, Justin replied, quickly thinking how little success he had with dishes. So he thinks that he was not good at washing dishes. But how are you gonna be good in something if you do not practice? If you want to be good at speaking English, you need to speak. That's the other way. I think some of you are very good nowadays playing video games. And why are you good? Because you play every single day. Huh? Don't tell me that you don't play. That's how you are good playing video games nowadays, because you practice every single day. Maria Jose, read please.
Okay. After washing the dishes,
No, the underline information. That's for you.
Then he washed each dish.
He washed
and washed each dish and rinsed it with care too.
Okay.
No water splash or
Spilled.
Oopsies. We're not all over. How easy it looked the way did it.
Looked.
The way Grandpa did it.
Because Grandpa didn't make a mess. So Justin says, how easy it looked the way Grandpa did it.
Justin was like, wow.
Yeah, Justin was surprised, yes. Because at home, mom and sisters did everything for him. But here, Grandpa is showing him how to do housework. Okay, Hazel, read please.
After washing the dishes, Grandpa swept the floor and then went upstairs. Justin stood around downstairs. He had a strange feeling of
Guilt.
And wishes he had helped with the dishes.
Okay, guilt. He had a strange feeling of guilt. Guilt is culpa. Why he had a strange feeling of guilt? Because he didn't help. He didn't want to help. He said, what do you want to do? Wash or dry? And he says, neither, because he didn't want to help. Next one, Crystal.
No, yes.
Read, please.
He heard Grandpa
He heard
he heard Grandpa moving about in his room. Justin thought of
going
outside down into the meadow. But he
decided
decided to see what was going on
upstairs because Grandpa went upstairs after he finished with the dishes. Look at him washing the dishes, and Justin was just watching. He was just observing Grandpa doing everything. And when Grandpa finished, he went upstairs. Okay, we need to read this page, but I'm going to read it because of matter of time. And then, because also you have to copy the questions. I know who read yesterday, and I am going to continue with other kids tomorrow. Let me read. When he saw his grandpa busy making his own big bed, Justin went into his room. His unmade bed and his pajamas on the floor bothered him, but he decided that the room didn't look too bad. He picked up the pajamas and placed them on the bed and sat beside them. He waited. Finally, Grandpa came in and said, "Are you riding fence with me today?" Riding fence is, Grandpa was asking him if he wants to go to check the fence. If the fence needs some repair, so Grandpa will repair the fence. That's what it means. Are you riding fence with me today? Oh, yes, says Justin. Fine, but why don't you make your bed? You will probably feel pretty tired tonight. A well-made bed can be a warm welcome. And that's true. Don't you like to find your bed neat and clean and order? Oh, we feel good when our bed is in order. Justin
I like it when it's in disorder.
That's not good. Justin moved slowly, reluctant to let Grandpa see him struggle with the bed. He started. What a surprise. Everything was tightly in place. He only had to smooth the covers. The bed was made. No lumps and bumps. Justin looked at Grandpa and grinned proudly. That was easy. He shouted. That was easy, he shouted. Don't you think you should unpack your clothes? They won't need ironing if you hang them up. You gotta look razor sharp for the festival. He gave Justin some clothes hangers. Okay, he gave Justin some clothes hangers. I'm gonna show you a hanger. This is a clothes hanger, see? So Grandpa says here, why do you think you should unpack your clothes? Because he went to the city to the ranch. So Justin clothes is inside the suitcase, dentro de la maleta. So Grandpa says, don't you think you should unpack your clothes? So Grandpa gave Justin some clothes hangers, these hangers to hang the clothes in the closet. Are we really going to the festival every day? Justin asked. You bet. Starting with the judging early tomorrow and the dance tomorrow night. Grandpa winked at him. So wink is when someone close an eyes to you, so wink at him. Justin's excitement faded when he started unpacking his rumpled shirts. Rumpled, see? How was rumpled? Like this paper. It's rumpled, has a lot of wrinkles. They sure are wrinkled, Grandpa, he said. Okay, now, questions. Let's go back to the presentation. Let's copy these questions, please. Because we already read the 3 pages we need. Comprehension, copy question number 1. Can you see the presentation, class? No, I didn't share the presentation with you.
No.
Here it is. Let's copy this presentation, please. Let's copy this question, number 1, because we have 3 or 4 minutes. Number 1, you already have the title, A Visit with Grandpa. How do you think Justin feels about going to visit his grandpa? Copy, please. How do you think Justin feels about going to visit his grandpa? Question number 1. And then you copy the answer. Hurry up, Diego. A visit with grandpa is the title, Alan, because probably you didn't copy at the beginning. I am going to write it here. A visit with grandpa. That's the title of the story. A visit with grandpa. Copy the title. And then question number 1. How do you think Justin feels about going to visit his grandpa? What do you remember about the story, class? What do you remember about the story? About Justin's feelings. What can you say about for question number 1? How do you think Justin feels about going to visit his grandpa? Class? What do you think?
Sad.
Sad. He feels sad. Do you think he felt sad because he went to visit grandpa? Sad?
Happy.
Happy? Happy or sad?
Sad.
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 He didn't want to go with grandpa to the ranch? He didn't want to go? Or he wanted to go?
No.
He didn't.
Didn't want? That's what you think?
He wanted because he ordered his bed. So yeah.
Remember that at the home, his mother and sisters were after him, always telling him, do your bed, wash the dishes, pick up your clothes, clean your room. So I guess he wanted to escape from the house, escape from his mother and sisters, because he didn't like to do housework. So he's probably glad to get away from home for a while and excited about being with his grandpa.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted, glad to get away from home. That's why, because his mother and sister were after him, always telling him to help at home, and he didn't like to help. He didn't like to help. Question number 2, where and when does this story takes place? Where and when? This is setting.
In grandpa's house.
Grandpa's ranch, right? In grandpa's ranch in Missouri. It takes place at grandpa's ranch in Missouri. The time could be the present. Maria Fernanda, are you copying? You have to show me your notebook. And question number 3, why does Justin not want to help grandpa with the dishes? Remember that grandpa asked him, do you want to wash or dry?
I am in after reading.
But why he didn't want to help? What does Justin think about housework?
It's like the mom that Justin don't want to help with, like the mom was saying, like he remember like the mom saying, wash the dishes.
Yeah, but grandpa asked him, do you want to wash or dry? What does Justin think about housework? What does he think about?
Nothing. He's neither. Difficult.
Yeah, he says neither. But here, what does Justin not what? Oh, here there is a mistake in one letter. Why does Justin, let me fix it. Here. Why does Justin not here? It's this one. Want, yes. Want. Why does Justin not want to help Grandpa with the dishes? What does he think about wash the dishes? What does Justin think about this housework? What? Class? What does he think? Want, okay? Why does Justin not want to help Grandpa with the dishes? What does he say about this? I asked you at the beginning of the class.
I can done. He say I can done.
No, you cannot say I can don't. You have to say I can't or I can do it.
Neither.
But boys, can you wash a dish at
Yes.
home? Do you do it?
Yes.
Yeah. Because it's okay. That's good. Good for your mom. Because you help her. But Justin thinks something about this. What does he think about? Housework, wash dishes, make the bed, clean the room. What does he think?
He was difficult.
He thinks that it's difficult. So, does he need to do it?
Yes.
Not only the girls need to do the job of the house.
Only girls. That's what he thinks. Justin has had trouble doing dishes before. Why he had trouble? Because he thinks housework is women's work. That's why. That's what he thinks. That wash dishes, make beds is just for women. That's what he thinks. That's why he has problem. How can you drive a car? Have you ever tried to drive a car?
Means we're kids.
Exactly. You have never drive a car.
Well,
So,
I have to drive a car, but not
do
the
you?
real one.
Yeah, but it is difficult for you, so that's why you don't do it.
Well, I have drive like something like something parecido a moto.
Oh.
I drive a go-kart.
Cuatrimoto. I have drive a cuatrimoto.
Okay.
I
go with
So-
cuatrimoto.
Me? I going
Cuatrimoto too.
in go-karts.
Okay, guys.
Yesterday.
So, listen. Justin didn't want to help Grandpa because he don't know how to do it. For him, it was difficult to wash a dish. Why? Why it is difficult for him? Because he thinks housework is just for women. Just for women. So, if you do not practice something, to do something, it's going to be difficult always for you. You need to practice. You're going to be better if you practice. Okay. I am going to send, because time is over, I am going to send a picture in your parents group. And also, I am going to upload a picture in a Schoology. So if you didn't finish copying, you can copy from Schoology because I need a picture in a Schoology, okay? From your notebook.
In my cell phone.
That's great. And don't forget to finish it. So let's see you in a couple of minutes in our next class. Okay?
Bye, Miss. I love you so much.
Love you.